For many struggling with porn addiction, the need for genuine love and connection is overshadowed by the intense grip of compulsion, isolation, and loneliness. Porn, along with its constant companion, masturbation, offers a quick fix, a surge of dopamine and oxytocin that provides temporary relief. In that moment, it feels like an escape, but as the high fades, the underlying issues remain untouched, leaving you in a repetitive cycle of temporary pleasure, followed by lingering emptiness. This addiction often deepens feelings of restlessness, dissatisfaction, and isolation, making the initial need for connection even more urgent, yet harder to fulfill. If this resonates with you, know that you're not alone. We created this video to shed light on how porn addiction can negatively impact your dating life, ultimately increasing feelings of loneliness. By addressing the stigma, we hope to encourage more people to seek help and find healing. Trapped in unrealistic fantasies, porn addiction often traps you in a fantasy world that distorts your perceptions of sex and relationships. Imagine trying to start a romantic relationship, but constantly measuring it against the exaggerated and often unrealistic scenarios you've seen in porn. These fantasies create a set of impossible expectations that can sabotage real-life connections before they even begin. For example, you might find yourself comparing a first date to an idealized scenario where everything goes perfectly. No awkward silences, no misunderstandings. But in reality, relationships are messy, imperfect, and human. When real life doesn't measure up, it can be disheartening, making it difficult to form genuine connections. Drowning in sexual shame. Another significant way porn addiction harms your dating life is through the burden of sexual shame. If you've used porn as an escape from emotional distress or trauma, that unresolved pain can morph into deep shame over time. This shame stems from the frustration of trying to solve a problem, like loneliness or sadness, through porn, only to find that it doesn't work. Imagine trying to cover a wound with a bandage, but instead of healing, the wound festers underneath. The shame from relying on porn, combined with the ongoing emotional distress, creates a complex cocktail of emotions that can prevent you from pursuing a romantic relationship. You might start to believe that because of your past, you're not worthy of love, or that any potential partner will reject you if they knew the truth. Fear of stigmatization. Beyond the internal struggles, porn addiction also impacts how you approach dating. Imagine you've met someone who sparks your interest, and things are going well, but then comes the moment of truth. Do you tell them about your past with porn addiction? The fear of judgment and rejection can be overwhelming. What if they can't accept it? The stigma surrounding porn addiction can be a major obstacle, creating a barrier to intimacy. Many people who have overcome their addiction still find it terrifying to open up about it. This fear of stigmatization can lead to emotional distance, even in relationships with strong potential, ultimately creating a wall that prevents the relationship from developing into something deeper. Exacerbates negative body image issues. Porn addiction can severely distort your perceptions of sex, intimacy, body image, and sexual performance. Studies have shown that regular consumption of porn is closely linked to a more negative body image, decreased self-esteem, and poorer overall mental health, factors that can deeply impact your dating life. Constant exposure to idealized images and scenarios in pornography often leads to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Consider this. Individuals who spend hours watching flawless actors in meticulously curated scenes may start to feel increasingly inadequate compared to those exaggerated standards. You might find yourself comparing your body to those you see on screen, believing that if you don't match up, you're somehow less worthy of love or connection. This self-perception can be so damaging that it creates a barrier between you and potential partners, making you believe that meaningful relationships are out of reach. For instance, imagine someone who starts to feel insecure about their appearance after repeatedly seeing unrealistic portrayals of beauty and sexual performance in porn. This insecurity might lead them to avoid dating altogether, fearing rejection or feeling unworthy. Over time, the self-sabotaging mindset can lead to withdrawal from social interactions, exacerbating feelings of loneliness and isolation. The cycle becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Believing you're unworthy keeps you from seeking connections, which only deepens the loneliness you were trying to escape in the first place. Lack of motivation. Another consequence of porn addiction is a significant lack of motivation to pursue dating opportunities. Porn offers a convenient, readily available escape from feelings of loneliness, boredom, or dissatisfaction with life. The immediate gratification it provides can become a substitute for real-life connections, making the effort required to build genuine relationships seem less appealing by comparison. Imagine someone who, after a long day, turns to pornography as a way to unwind and escape. Instead of seeking out social interactions or engaging in activities that could lead to meeting new people, they opt for the quick, easy satisfaction that porn provides. Over time, this pattern of behavior can erode their motivation to connect with others as the effort to form and maintain real relationships starts to feel like too much work compared to the ease of their habitual escape. What's more, the shame and guilt that often accompany porn use can further erode motivation. You might start to internalize these negative feelings, believing that because of your reliance on porn, you're somehow undeserving of love and companionship. This can lead to a vicious cycle of isolation, pulling away from potential romantic opportunities out of fear or self-doubt, which only deepens the feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction you were trying to avoid in the first place. If any of this resonates with you, know that you're not alone. Porn and porn addiction are complicated issues. Some might dismiss it as harmless, but for those who struggle with addiction, the consequences can be severe, impacting not just mental health, but also the ability to form and maintain relationships. If you find yourself struggling, reach out to a licensed medical professional for help. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Remember, you deserve happiness and you matter.